Look out, New Hampshire. Former Senator Bob Smith claims he is going to run for the U.S. Senate in 2014. Folks, most of you probably don't remember Bob Smith. He was briefly a United States Senator from the great state of New Hampshire. He ran for president and came in basically last place in 2000 and was booted out of office by John Sununu Jr. in 2002. He then moved to Florida, ran for Senate a couple of times, got absolutely nowhere, and now he says he's going to move back to New Hampshire and run for the Senate. Now, this may shock some of you, but I've always found Bob Smith profoundly inspirational. I don't mean I'd ever vote for him. He has all sorts of radical right-wing extremist positions. He was a disaster as a senator. He would have been probably the worst president ever. But I still find him an inspirational character. Let me tell you why. This is a delicate issue. Some of you may think it's impolite for me to mention it, but I got to just put it out there on the table. If you don't know what Bob Smith looks like, you need to Google Bob Smith plus U.S. Senator, because there's too many Bob Smiths otherwise. Look at the images. You'll know what I'm talking about. How do I put this delicately? Bob Smith is an ungood-looking man. Okay, let me just be brutally honest. He is a profoundly ugly human being. He looks, I'm not trying to be mean, I realize I'm not perfect, but he looks like a Far Side character. And I always gave him credit for putting himself out there, acting like he was, had every right to be a part of normal society like everyone. I give him credit. Because I got to be honest with you, if I looked like that, I'd become a hermit. I'd lock myself away. I would try to figure out some way of making a living as a blogger where people only could see my text. And yet, here he is out there, putting his face on camera. Folks, I'm not really kidding here. I do find him inspirational that someone says, you know what? I'm not going to let other people's standards of societal beauty or minimal standards get in my way. I'm going to do what I want. So, Bob Smith, welcome back to the political arena. Some things going on since I saw you last before the holiday break. I hope you had a great holiday. I was in North Carolina visiting family, friends, all last week. So thanks for the week off. Hope you've enjoyed the week. Other big news, and it's really not big news, it's this continued onslaught against Obamacare by the right wing. And I'm not surprised or disappointed by Republicans and conservatives trashing Obamacare. They've made no bones about it. They hate anything Obama does. If Obama today said he wants to abolish Obamacare, they would say, no, we have to have more Obamacare. They're that reflexively anti-Obama. But what I am disappointed by is how the mainstream media has essentially gone along and bought into all the precepts of conservatives. And they're not asking real questions. I mean, what they should be asking, conservatives, is, isn't it true that if Obamacare were a tremendous success, you would still claim it's a failure? Isn't it true that you don't really want 40 million Americans to have decent health care? That's the question. Those are the questions that should be asked by the media. And they should ask them, how would you fairly gauge whether Obamacare is a success or not? If healthcare costs are going down nationwide, would that be considered a success? If healthcare costs were on average going down per person, would that be considered a success? If our infant mortality rate went down, if other barometers of health went up, would you ever be willing to give Obamacare any credit for that? Of course not. But reporters aren't asking real questions. They are just playing along with the right-wing demagoguery of conservatives and Republicans, and it's utterly despicable the way the so-called mainstream media is just going along with what Republicans and conservatives want. Utterly, utterly disgusting. This just in, according to the Republican Party, racism is over. Racism is dead. Apparently some brilliant wordsmith over the Republican Party posted a tweet over the last few days, and it said, thanks to Rosa Parks for ending racism. Really, racism has ended, according to the Republican Party. That explains a lot. Folks, thanks for coming back, joining me for a new week. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, please post them here.